Hello, beautiful, gorgeous starseeds. It's Alexander Quinn here today, and we're going to be talking about what they don't tell you about awakening, or more specifically, what it feels like to move into a new energy. Now, when Morpheus hands Neo the red pill, he says, "Take this and I'll show you just how far down the rabbit hole you can really go." But had he said, "Hey, Neo, I tell you what, you'll take a red pill, you'll wake up in this sack with all these wires all over you and they'll start popping off, and then they'll dump you in a sewer system, and then we'll crane you out of all the gunk, and then we'll have to work on your muscles because you'll have atrophuge and your eyes will hurt and everything." Most people go, "I don't think so, actually. I don't think I'm up for that." And that's why we're going to explore everything they don't tell you when you're awakening and going into a new energy, because it is so important. And what was the result of all of that hard work and the red pill that he took? He red pilled himself. He became a superhero and not only got out the Matrix, he started controlling the Matrix. And that's where we're going to put you today. Shadow work is about becoming aware of the unconscious part of you, detaching negative programming, old energy, unworthiness, negative thought patterns, and routines that don't serve you anymore. Shadow work is all about removing the old, becoming aware of the old, becoming aware of what is triggering you. In the old energy, in the old world, it was the external world that made you do everything, told you what to do for work, told you where to live, told you what to eat. In the new energy, it's all about coming from the inside. How do you want to live? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to work? What is your passion? What do you want to create from the inside? As opposed to letting the external world come in and letting your family tell you what to do. Maybe your father or your grandfather or your generation did the same job over and over and over again. It's about breaking old cycles, about saying, "Hey, what does my heart say in this lifetime? What do I want to do in the now?" And don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Just focus on the you. It's about breaking old patterns and doing your shadow work and come to terms with old traumas and awakening the subconscious part of you and becoming aware of it and becoming aware of what is triggering you and healing that, bringing it to the surface and transmuting it into internal work that you then project out onto your external. Because when you're creating from your internal world, who do I want to be, what do I want to eat, how do I want my body to look, what do I want, as opposed to what the external world is saying, then you're transmuting, you're creating, and you're letting go. So do your shadow work and become aware of your subconscious and the parts of you that need healing, that need to come to the forefront. When you start awakening, you must become aware consciously of your own thoughts, because thoughts become things, as do words. That's why it's very important. I know people say, "Oh, meditation, it's just new age nonsense." But meditation blocks out all of the outside world that is projecting onto you, including the thoughts of others. So when you're meditating, you have clear vision, clear thought, and you can hear your own intuition, you can hear your own thoughts. So for even 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, meditate. You need to put the work in, going into a new energy, so that you can tune the antenna on the radio into the new energy and hear your thoughts and hear them align. You came here to have a physical experience, not to have a non-physical experience. You need to be in the body, you need to be ground. There's a lot of starseeds saying, "This will be my last lifetime here, I'm never going to come back, and this isn't the right fit for me, and I don't want to be on Gaia." It's because you're not grounded. You need to be in the body, you need to be grounding, you need to be meditating. Imagine a rod shooting out your root chakra deep into Gaia and setting roots in the ground. Hold your hematite or your grounded crystals, and at the same time imagine golden light of Gaia coming up and in, because when you're grounded and you're part of Gaia and you're connected, synchronicity is going to start going up, and you're going to want to be here, and you're going to stop saying, "Oh my god, this is the last lifetime I'm ever going to be here, I'm not going to be here anymore, I'm going to get off this planet," all that kind of stuff. Because the people who are grounded are going to be the ones who inherit the earth. They're going to be the ones who came here to change Gaia, to raise its vibration, and many of you will actually come back. But if you're not grounded and if you're not in your body enough, you won't want to be here, and that's why it feels like the magic isn't working. So ground, very, very important. If you start ascending too quickly and you're not grounded, you're going to start coming out of your body and you're going to start spiritual bypassing because you're not balanced. balanced. What is that? Spiritual bypassing, the tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developmental tasks, including karmic issues and even potentially akashic healing that needs to take place. So in other words, you get some spiritual people, they become new age and suddenly, oh, I can't do this 9-to-5 job anymore, I can't work a real job, I can't do this because I'm spiritual and I'm just going to bypass everything. Balanced again and become grounded again. Spiritual bypassing and just cutting everything else off is not going to work for you because you've gone too far in the other direction. You need to come back and get in alignment, because spiritual bypassing is going to cut you off from too many friends and too many things, and you want to get a balance on what is serving you and what is not serving you. So you will actually extradite too much from your life too quick when you're spiritual bypassing. So you must have balance. You're still eating red meat, you're still doing this, you've gone too far if you're doing that. You've become so spiritual, your ego's clicked in. So you want to ground again. So you don't spiritual bypass. You want to click back into yourself and remove the ego. Compassion for others, helping others, also awaken. No judgment of others and yourself. Working in a new energy is very different to working in an old energy. So if you're constantly looking for love, if you're constantly looking for that special Mr. Handsome or Mr. Right or Mrs. Perfect, I have to give you news. Stop. Go look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am worthy. I have been what I'm looking for. I am number one. I am important. I am meant to be here at this moment in time. I am special. Because when you start becoming your authentic self and you can look yourself in the mirror and go, oh my God, I love myself, but without the ego, you're suddenly going to start becoming very attractive to the outside world, because you're going to be dictating life on your terms and not the external world's terms. You're going to be creating from the inside going out and not from the outside going in. So you won't need any Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or the perfect man in your life in anything, because when you find yourself and you can look in the mirror and go, my God, I'm amazing, you walk out of that room, the world is just going to come running to you and it's going to be your oyster. The next big one is friends. You're going to find friends don't resonate anymore. I'm sure you've heard this before. Also the things you did with those friends don't resonate anymore. And you're going to keep trying, some of you going back just to double check it, just to make sure when you know it doesn't work. So you'll keep going back to an old friend because you used to do something with them, a certain routine, a certain action that you used to keep performing with that person, and you know that friend doesn't resonate with you anymore, but you keep performing that action with them just to double check. You don't need to keep double checking anymore. If you know it doesn't resonate with you anymore, it doesn't work, you don't need to do it anymore. In the old energy, it was all about codependency and needing everyone else and toxic relationships and not being worthy. And wanting to please other people. You don't need to please any people anymore. You need to just go outside into the world and just be fabulous all by yourself, and that's it. So you're going to find old friends might not resonate anymore. You're going to find you're going to need new friends. And if you don't have any friends anymore, you need to go and find your tribe. You've got to go and find your 5D tribe, because those are the people that are going to help you build a new world, and you're going to co-create with them. As you start stepping into more of your light, you're going to find the same with your work and your work colleagues, mentalities and programming that don't work for you anymore. They worked for you in an old energy, in old systems. But we're moving into a new energy, in new systems, new ways of thinking, new paradigm, new businesses. You're going to be becoming more independent. You're not going to be becoming reliable on, I've got to go and work in a massive corporation and become a lifer and spend 30 years there and hopefully I'll climb the ladder. No, you can go and create. Maybe go and start your own business. The future is bright. You're coming into your own power. And old thought processes and processes which kept you feeling locked down and less and reliant on the system, you're going to start breaking out of that because you feel you don't need it anymore, because you're becoming sovereign. So you're not going to have to necessarily be a worker bee, and that's why you're going to start finding other passions and other things. And that doesn't mean that you can't work a 9 to 5. You still can, but you're going to go and resonate and serves you with people that you love working with. People have a similar mentality. In a new energy, you need to start having a relationship with your body. Most people think that your body is a separate thing. You are living inside your body. Your body has actually spent your whole life waiting to hear from you. It's waiting to communicate with you. Your body communicates with you all the time, but you don't communicate with your body. Your body's saying, oh wow, this thing that you're putting into me all the time is making me sick. You got to stop that. Your body's saying, oh, I'm getting really fat, I'm bloating here, I keep on getting bigger, I'm putting all these pounds, I've got cellulite, all this stuff. And if you don't carry on, you're going to get into difficulties. So you've got to start having a relationship with your body. You talk to your body and your body will talk back. It's like a telephone conversation. The better you get at having that telephone conversation, the more fluid it's going to become, the more articulate it's going to become. The perfect example of this is diet. You know, a lot of people spiritual say, well, you're not allowed to eat that, because they're very judgmental and they've gone spiritual bypassing. So they've got a spiritual ego. So spiritual people say, you can't eat this and you can't do that, and I've got standards and you must be living by my standards, and all this kind of thing. When you have a perfect relationship with your body will tell you in a new energy what you need to be eating and what you don't need to be eating, depending on your karmic cycles, your Akashic records, your DNA, your blood type, and your mentality. So your body will do the work for you. In a newer energy, you will be naturally wanting less dense foods, but the body will tell you when, how, and when you need these things. So listen to the body first. Not all your spiritual friends around you who are judgmental. The body will tell you when you need something and when you don't need it. And naturally, you will start going for less dense foods and lighter foods, but you will do it in your own time. Because if you change your diet too quick, you're going to run into problems, because some of you spend a lifetime eating a certain way, and if you just click that out overnight, you're going to be deficient in something, or you might become anemic, or you might not have vitamin B12 and B6, or you might have low iron problems, and that's going to cause more health issues. So your body will give you the time frame that you need to be working in terms of ascension diet. That's really important. How you live your life is going to be directed by your standards, not the standards of other people, because when you live by your own new higher standards, that's when you're going to find authenticity. Authenticity is what is really going to be the biggest driving factor in a new energy, because that's what's going to help you create, and that's what's going to bring you more synchronicity than ever before. In an old energy, authenticity was very hard to come by, because you were dictated by the standards of the outside world and everything going on on the outside, and what everyone else wanted you to do, and with the standards of everyone else's societies and dogmas and religious and politics. You need to get all these man-made constructs and just chuck them in the bin and create your own beautiful, wonderful, creative standards and live by those, because that's going to equal authenticity, and authenticity is sexy. Going into a new energy is going to take some recalibration, it's going to take some alteration, it's going to take a little bit of rejigging around to figure out what on earth is going on, and sometimes that requires alone time, cutting out all the outside noise that's constantly there. Family, perhaps, maybe the TV's constantly on. It's going to be okay to want to be alone for a little bit while your brain and your DNA and your cellular makeup, your physical body and your mentality, all these things, also your Akashic records are healing. Having a little bit of time on your own is going to be okay. You're going to want to go within for a while and cut out all the outside noise. That's going to be very, very good for you. It's going to be very, very normal. Don't worry about that. And you know, the other thing, a little bolt on I'm going to chuck on here. A lot of people say that you can't be joyful if you're going to be very disciplined and be ascended like an ascended master. No, that's wrong. The ascended masters, you know, they were joyful. You know, creator is joyful. He's happiness. You know, when you're happy, you're becoming more of a vibrational match for the angelics and the ETs. Synchronicity is going to rise up. Be happy. Now, in a sophisticated way, laugh and joke more. It's very, very important to keep a positive outlook, because that's going to bring more, you know, your guardian angels and your team around you. You're pushing them away when you're complaining all the time. So it's important to be jolly all the time. Fake it until you make it if necessary. Use affirmations even if you don't believe them. Just keep cracking on with all that stuff. It's very important. Guys, I love you so much. I'm a Starseed navigating the light. You are just wonderful. I love you all. And don't forget, you're going through changes. Be gentle with yourself. It's okay. You guys rock, and I will see you next time. Take it easy.